gentlemen, and mostly the ladies, thank you so much for having me here tonight. Cindy Ballas asked me to do this, and she said, try and keep it humorous, and I said, what could keep them in the aisles rolling better than the Civil War? Any of you who have attended this dinner before know that our great county executive, Dennis Levinson, usually gives an amazing oratory about President Lincoln, and unfortunately he couldn't be here with us tonight. In his place, occasionally, the next governor of New Jersey, Jack Ciattarelli, usually does the same phenomenal job. He also is not here tonight. And I'm told at least 9 other people declined before I was the person to do it. So,
at least.
Who am I to rewrite anything about the greatest and the original Republican president, Abraham Lincoln? So what I did was found remarks from President Theodore Roosevelt that was delivered at the Lincoln dinner of the Republican Club in New York City in 1905. And with your kind indulgence, I am going to read his abbreviated remarks here tonight. He started by quoting Lincoln in his second inaugural speech by saying, quote, "With malice towards none, with clarity for all, with firmness in the night as God gives us to see the right, let us strive to finish the work we are in, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations." President Roosevelt continues with a quote from President Lincoln that he gave immediately after his re-election. "The strife of the election is but human nature, practically applied to the human facts of the case. What has occurred in this case must ever recur in similar cases. Human nature will not change. In any future great national trial compared with the men of this, we shall have, as weak and as strong, as silly and as wise, as bad and as good. Let us therefore study the incidents of this as philosophy, to learn wisdom from, and none of them as wrongs to be revenged." President Roosevelt went on to praise President Lincoln for the rest of the evening and said this: "This is the spirit in which almighty Lincoln sought to bind up the nation's wounds when its soul was yet seething, with fierce hatreds, with wrath, with rancor, with all the evil and dreadful passions provoked by civil war. Surely this is the spirit which all Americans should show now, when there is little excuse for malice, or rancor, or hatred, when there is so little of vital consequence to divide brother from brother." Lincoln, himself a man of Southern birth, did not hesitate to appeal to the sword when he became satisfied that in no other way could the Union be saved. For high though he put peace, he put righteousness still higher. Lincoln warred for the Union. He warred to free the slave. And when he warred in earnest. For it is a sign of weakness to be the half-hearted when blows must be struck. But he felt only love, a love as deep as the tenderness of his great and sad heart for all his countrymen alike in the North and in the South. He longed above everything for the day when they should once more be knit together in the unbreakable bonds of eternal friendship. We of today, and of course this was 1905, but it is just as true today. We of today, in dealing with our fellow citizens, no matter their race, no matter their creed, should strive to show just the qualities that Lincoln showed. His steadfastness in striving after the right, and his infinite patience and forbearance for those who saw that right less clearly than he did. His earnest endeavor to do what was best, and yet his readiness to accept the best that was practicable when the ideal best was unattainable. His unceasing effort to cure what was evil, coupled with his refusal to make a bad situation worse by any ill-judged or ill-timed effort to make it better. The great Civil War in which Lincoln towered as the loftiest figure left us not only a reunited country, but a country which has the proud right to claim as its own glory, won alike by those who wore the blue and by those who wore the gray, by those who followed Grant and by those who followed Lee. For both fought with equal bravery and with equal sincerity of conviction. each striving for the light as it was given to him to see the light. Though it is clear now to all that the triumph of the cause of freedom and the Union was essential to the welfare of mankind. We are now one people, a people with failings, which we must not blink, but a people with great qualities in which we have the right to feel just pride. Let us be steadfast for the right, but let us err on the side of generosity rather than on the side of vindictiveness towards those who differ from us as to the method of attaining the right. Let us never forget our duty to help in uplifting the lowly, to shield for the humble, and to let us likewise act in a spirit of the broadest and frankest generosity towards all our brothers and sisters, all our fellow citizens, in a spirit proceeding not from weakness, but from strength, a spirit which takes no more account of locality than it does of class or creed, a spirit in which is resolutely bent on seeing that the Union, which President Washington founded and President Lincoln saved from destruction, shall grow nobler and greater throughout the ages. President Roosevelt continued, stating, "I believe in this country with all my heart and soul. I believe that our people will in the end rise level to every need, will in the end triumph over every difficulty that rises before them. I could not have such confident faith in the destiny of this mighty people if I had it not merely in regards to one portion of that people. Throughout our land, things on the whole have grown better and not worse. And this is as true of one part of the country as it is of another. I claim the right to feel pride in this great equality and these great qualities in his great deeds exactly as I feel pride in the great qualities and deeds of every other American. For weal or woe, we are knit together, and we shall go up or we shall go down together. And I believe that we shall go up and not go down, that we shall go forward instead of halting and falling back, because I have an abiding faith in the generosity, the courage, the resolution, and the common sense of all my countrymen and women. The southern states face difficult problems, and so do the northern states. Yet some of the problems undoubtedly exist in the western states, and still others in the eastern states. Some of these problems are the same for the entire country. Others exist in greater intensity in one section, and yet others exist in greater intensity in another. But in the end, they will all be solved. For fundamentally, our people are the same throughout this land, the same in the qualities of heart and brain and hand, which have made this republic what it is in the great today, which will make it what it is to be in the infinitely greater tomorrow. I admire and respect and believe, and I have faith in the men and women of this nation. All of us alike, northerners, southerners, easterners, westerners, can best prove our fealty to the nation's past by the way in which the nation's work is done in the present. For only thus can we be sure that our children's children shall inherit Abraham Lincoln's single-hearted devotion to the great unchanged creed, righteousness exalteth the nation. God bless America as it was then and it is now.